All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to G.W.R. Gonzo'S Wrestling Room, Wednesday, October 11th, 2023. I'm Chris Gonzo'S, joined by Tony Gonzalez. Got a full house tonight. We're joined by Marcus Fine, like always. Also joined by Big Glenn, and we're also joined by Austin Gonzalez.
Yeah, man, this is a special edition because, we had some things going on. I had some things going on with my wife being ill again, unfortunately, but hopefully she's on the right track now, out of the hospital. So we got a special edition tonight, and it's even got a little bit more crazy. Like I told these guys before we come on the air, we got a name for this show for this week. It's the good, the bad, the ugly, and the creepy. And we're going to start off with the bad, the ugly, and the creepy right off the bat, and then get to all the good stuff after that. But some stuff happened today. A story was released all over here in Indiana about a wrestling promotion here in Muncie, Indiana, IPW. A 34-year-old special needs adult.
Real quick, just before you continue, just so everybody knows, that is not the wrestling promotion out of Muncie, Indiana that you see us with all the time. It is not the one that we were just done a show with on Saturdays. That is Delaware County Championship Wrestling.
Yes,
has nothing to do with IPW in this situation.
Yes, none whatsoever. A 34-year-old special needs adult with autism also was reportedly hit from behind with an elbow in the back of the head. He tried to fight back and was held down while someone else kicked him in the face. The wrestler Creepy the Clown, his real name is
Michael Kine.
Was arrested and has been released on bond, I believe on $5,000, so the bond would be like $500 or something along those lines. From what I read in the paper, this is going by what I read in the paper, that this was like his fourth charge on battery. So again, that's what I read in the paper. I'm not confirming that to be a 100% fact. I'm not, because I do not know that for a fact. Or nor was I at that show and seen. I'm just going by what was in the newspaper and also on TV. So people understand that. But what do you guys think, man? I think promoters have to protect the wrestlers. I think promoters got to protect all the fans that go there, especially one with autism. And this hits home with me because I have a friend and he don't have autism, but he has cerebral palsy, and he's a very rambunctious fan. I don't think he get out of line and put his hands on anybody. Bobby wouldn't, but that concerns me. What if Bobby rubs somebody the wrong way? Are they going to smash him in the head? Smack him in the back of the head with an elbow? I have big concerns about that. And everybody, all the guys here at least I know 3 out of the 4 here know that I'm not a huge fan of IPW. I'm not making bones about that. With some things that they've done in the past. But I feel bad for the fans and for the people in that promotion to try to do a good job, and the fans to go there and enjoy the product. They do enjoy the product. And they do have some fans. They got some good, loyal fans. So I'm not putting the fans down whatsoever. I want to make sure everybody understands that on my point of view. But it really concerns me that this is going on. And and what are they going to do to rectify this situation? You can't say that you're not responsible because it happened in the parking lot. I disagree with that 100%. What do you guys think? Chris, you want to go? What do you think?
I'll let one of them go and then I'll
Okay,
go.
Marcus, what do you think?
I think if the promoters are responsible for the venue, the parking lot, the building, the wrestlers, and everybody that is part of that show in one way or the other. And if one of his hired talent, no matter how he paid the guy, he was on his card, if he attacked a fan for whatever reason, the promoter is just as responsible as the guy that done it.
Yeah, I feel like IPW should have done more to have that line between the fans and the entertainer in that way. Based on the information given to the local media, it sounds like there wasn't like security there in that way to be able to have that line in between them in that way. So I feel like IPW could have definitely done a whole lot better with how they handled this.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, from what you said too, is that they even moved him at one point, and at that moment, you should have kept an eye on that whole situation, make sure nothing else happened, and obviously they didn't. So
They've got that option if he is out of hand, and I don't know the gentleman, and I don't know the whole situation. If he's out of hand, tell him to stop, remove him from the building. If he won't be removed from the building, call the police. There's all kinds of options, and for you, and the bottom line is, if I work at Walmart and I get into it with a customer and I go out in the parking lot and I injure that customer, I'm in big trouble. This gentleman was employed by IPW. Don't make a difference in the parking lot. He was employed by IPW at that time, and I think they're in trouble. I mean, I think they could be in for a big lawsuit. The fairgrounds could be in tune for a lawsuit.
yeah, because I mean they're out there every show. That's where it's at. So.
And Brett Coons is on here. He is one of the promoters from IPW. You're 100% correct, Brent. There's always three sides to every story. You are correct, and I understand that. I do believe that. But saying that, do you think that you guys hold some kind of responsibility in this? It's your show. It's your show. Do you hold some responsibility in that? I think you have to.
What exactly did the kid do? Was he just ranting, or did he actually touch the guy? There's a difference. It's the same way. If you touch the guardrail, then you're fair game to the wrestlers. But if he didn't touch the guy,
again, yes. What I read, Marcus, and this was again only what I read because I wasn't there. That he was yelling stuff. I heard he maybe called some of the wrestlers bitches and some things like that. And I heard one of the he called bitches was creepy son, and he was upset about that. That's what I heard. Whether that's 100% true, I don't know.
Was his son's a wrestler too, right? Though, right? You said his.
Yeah, one of the wrestlers that wrestled there is Creepy's son.
Okay, so I mean, if he didn't physically touch either one of them first, then I don't see anything that the fan did really wrong that doesn't happen in any other show. Fans yell at the the wrestlers, everybody.
And see, that's what I was saying, Blake.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to address that.
And for the ones of you that don't know, that's Blake
Yeah.
Money Right. I know it says Blake William, but his wrestling name is Blake Money Right. We've seen him a lot. He's wrestled all over the country, and I think Mark has been in the business 4 years now, somewhere around there.
I've known him 4. I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty darn good, man. I've seen him wrestle quite a few times.
But yeah, that's the old school rule, even back to Bruiser's day.
Yeah.
If you touch the wrestler, you enter the ring, and then you're done. They have fair game on you, and the police will even say that. But if
I have no, they enter the ring, that's on them.
Like say he's been in the business for 3 years.
I guess I've just put up with him along. It just seems like it's been longer, but
Yeah, same here, Marcus.
I love you,
Again,
Blake.
this is Brent Coons' comment. Of course, he's one of the owners of IPW, help runs things, and said they were told it was a silver. Excuse me, sorry about that. I can't talk, guys. But that may be true. I mean, I can't say 100% for sure on that because I'm not a lawyer. But one thing is that, Brent, if I'm correct, he was employed by you guys, wasn't it?
From what I know, and like I said, I wasn't there, but going by what I read in the stuff that came out today,
that's all we can go by.
And from
we can go by.
And from listening to the IPW show, their live show, they do their little Facebook live show they do the day after their events. It sounded like the guy was being loud, and some fans had complained about he was being loud and they weren't able to enjoy the show, so they moved him. And then of course what it said in the paper today, they went outside, he got hit and all that. And it might be a civil matter to the police, but if you rent a building, I would say that if something happens in that parking lot of that building, that
especially with your employee,
it might be a civil matter police wise, but that person that guy that got the hell beat out of him, he could file, and this is my opinion, he could file a lawsuit against IPW, and he could file a lawsuit against the Delaware County Fairgrounds.
And if you want to get right to it, he could go against the county too, I'm thinking, but I don't know.
Because I mean, and I'd heard on their thing they had said something about if in future shows, if you come to be mindful of other people, if you're standing up, that means other people can't see. Well, I'm sorry, if you're at a wrestling show, there's going to be people standing at 90% of the time. That's just how professional wrestling is. We was at that show Saturday night, Marcus. How many people was standing in front of our table where we could barely see that ring for 90% of that show?
It happens.
There was a lot of times we were watching it on our laptop. You know what I mean? We were watching on our computer screen because we could see it because there was fans standing up. You can't everybody pays money to go. It's not just wrestling events. If you go to a Colts game, you go to a Pacers game, there's going to be people, a concert. No, we don't buy tickets in the lower level of concert at Deer Creek because if we sit down in the pavilion when you're 4'11", 5 foot, you can't see shit.
It's a waste of time.
So you sit up in the lawn up on the hill where you can see.
That's just a fact.
Those seats were tall people.
I mean, am I going to tell the person, a 7 foot guy in front of me, hey, you can't stand and enjoy this show because I'm 5 foot?
Yeah.
I mean,
you tried once, but that's it.
So, I mean, that's part of. You're not going to make everybody happy. I don't care what promotion you are. If you run one of these shows, you're not going to make everybody happy. There's going to be people that come to your show that's going to love it. There's going to be people that come to your show and are going to say, well, I didn't like this. Maybe this group of fans was rude or this or that. There's going to be that, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But whether it happens inside or outside, because that was one thing I kept hearing people say, well, if you stay inside the building, you can't get hurt. Well, one, you got to leave. You got to walk outside to leave the building. And for two, you shouldn't. You're at an entertainment show. It shouldn't be unsafe if you walk outside the parking lot.
That's true.
I happen to be a smoker. I go outside and in between at all these shows in intermission and before the show. And you shouldn't feel unsafe because you have to step outside. And like I said, and I also understand this: a promoter can't control everything that their employees do. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're
also has to be different ways to handle it. And I know they said only heard one side of the story. I've actually heard 2 out of the 3 sides of the story. Me personally, not everybody else on this panel, but I've heard 2 out of the 3 sides of the story because I've also heard the guy that it happened to his side, a lot of his side of the story as well.
Yes,
as well. So,
technically, I have to.
So I've heard 2 out of the 3 sides. But yeah, it's just something that shouldn't happen. It can't happen because if it's stuff like this. And the reason I'm saying it can't happen is because if stuff like this happens at wrestling shows, how many shows have we? Well, Marcus has been to 76 shows this year. Out of them shows, Marcus, how many of them shows can struggle to draw a crowd at times?
Yeah, they struggle. Yeah, we go to a lot of shows that struggle to draw a crowd.
A big majority of them. So then if you have that going on, and then it's on the news and the newspapers and all over that fans are getting attacked by wrestlers and this stuff's going on, that's not going to encourage people to come check out these wrestling promotions. So not only can it hurt one promotion, it can hurt other promotions because it just can give a bad taste for the whole pro wrestling business. Not generic.
One thing I want to say, Brent, I do appreciate you coming on and trying to give you guys what you can. I mean, your hands are tired of what you guys need, what you need to say. Because this is a matter now, and I understand that. And you have three sides of the story, man. Your side and the truth. So it's probably still more. And I'm not taking sides. All I'm saying is it's a bad look, and it's a tough situation you guys are in right now. Hopefully, you guys can get it cleared up. But one thing about it is, if it's true, what I read about Mr. Klein, and again, I don't know if it's true. I just what I read. This is the fourth time that he's been charged with battery. That's not a good look. That's not a good look for you guys. And hopefully you guys get that cleared up.
Especially when all I hear about is how they do background checks on all their people. Nobody else in the business does background checks on people.
Yeah.
So how are you going to call other people out for not doing background checks? And then, well, we just do background checks for certain things, not this. Well, either do background checks or don't fucking do them. Don't bash other people for not fucking doing them if you're not doing it the right way. That's my only thing.
I know. And I don't want to make it about that. I know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, and I don't disagree with what you're saying. You got some people from the promotion that wants to go crazy and all the time, but now the heat's on them. It's a different story. Hopefully, again, you guys get this straightened out, and hopefully this young man that got hurt is okay, and hopefully he gets treated right with the legal system, whatever that means. Because I don't know what's it going to mean. I don't know, because again, I wasn't there and I don't know the story.
Well, I can say for me, I don't have a side.
I was going to say one thing real quick. Brent, I wasn't saying that you guys said you told people not to enjoy the show. All I said is you're not going to be able to keep people sitting down. And I wasn't ever saying you guys are telling people that. I was actually speaking to other fans that were complaining about people standing up. Believe me, I'm not saying IPW is telling their fans, "Oh, you can't stand up, not enjoy the show." I'm not saying that at all. What I was saying is I saw where other fans had been complaining about people standing up. I'm just saying that as a wrestling fan in general, if you go to a wrestling show, you're going to have to expect that people are probably going to stand up. That was what my point was on that. I wasn't saying that you guys were that IPW was telling people you can't enjoy the show, you have to sit down. That's not what I was saying at all. So let me clear that up to make them just so they know.
And you can run into fans that are loud, you can run into fans that are obnoxious. That can happen at any show. And I'm not just pointing out IPW. That can happen at any show.
Austin, go ahead, bud. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, there was just a comment that was acting like we were picking a side. And speaking to somebody that doesn't really have a side, all it comes down to is someone got hurt by a wrestler that was employed by somebody that needs to get fixed. That's the issue.
That's
if it happened anywhere. If it happened to a different company, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which wrestling company happened to it. It happened. It needs to get fixed. And every side can do their part to make it better.
How many times have you guys bashed people? If we're going to get down to it, how many times have you guys bashed people? Especially one of the guys on your show. How many times? A whole hell of a fucking lot. Now that's just the fact. That's just the fucking truth. Now just don't act like that. Oh, we got bashed all the fucking time. Oh, you a big pussy or what?
That was good.
Well, come on. Now let's be honest here. I'm not saying that you've never been bashed, but don't sit there and act like that you guys didn't do any fucking bashing. But from day fucking one, when you guys left that promotion, you guys have been bashing, and that's a fact.
And then
I'm immature.
Yeah,
I'm immature.
Somebody calls them out about them bashing, and it goes that everybody else is immature. And honestly, how many times has anybody heard us just get on here and bash anybody? No. Has there been comments made about IPW on our platform? Yes, there has. Has there been comments made about DCCW and other people on IPW's platform more than anybody else? Yes, there has. So it goes both ways. They started on you guys first. Okay, that might be true. I wasn't there at the beginning, but I know I've been doing numerous amount of shows where nothing has been said to you guys, and you guys will do. It might not even be you, Brent. People from IPW. Let me rephrase that. Will go and try to get the show canceled. Go to the fucking school board, or anything. Get online, accuse people of being pedophiles or this or that, and all this bullying that you guys are supposedly against bullying, but most of the time you guys are trying to bully other people because oh, they're running the show same day as us. You can't do that. This is our town. We own this motherfucker. No, it's Muncie. Anybody can run a fucking wrestling show anytime they want. If I wanted to run a wrestling show this Saturday night, same time as you guys, guess what? If I wanted to, I fucking could. There's nothing. It's not illegal. I'm tired of the want to bully, and then when somebody says something, want to play victim. Stand by what you say. I'm sweating up like I'm sweating.
Get a little upset. Start sweating.
It's hot in here.
Okay, guys, we're gonna get out of this topic here. And we're gonna get some good stuff here. Hopefully, for the gentleman that got attacked, things will be straightened out. Whatever that means. Again, it'll be. I mean, I'm sure it's been investigated. Charges have been filed, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, but and like I said, no matter where it happens, what promotion it happens, it's just something that can't. It's something that
go on.
It's something that can't happen anywhere.
If it happened at DCCW, they would be responsible, and I would expect them to be held accountable. Or if it happened at any promotion that we go to, whether it was Summit Pro or Warrior Pro Wrestling, I expect them to be held accountable. You have to be. It's your show. It's your show. That's what it comes down to. It's your show.
Oh, we got another comment here. Let's put this one up.
Oh shit!
I guess we'll just let that comment be the last of it.
Yep.
Yeah, let's move on to the.
Okay. We got the bad and the ugly and the creepy out of the way. Let's get to the.
Good.
Let's get to the good stuff here.
We're
We're going to start off with something really good. We're going to start off with our indie wrestling report. And Marcus, you started off on Friday night down at WCWO, I believe.
Yes, I did. Okay, how you want me to go about this? Because Chris was at a show in between. Because I was at a show all 3 days. So,
well, I was going to let you do the Friday night first.
All right, Friday night. We're down at the Outlaw Arena. 80%. It's hard to tell numbers in there because people are standing and moving around, but probably 80% of the arena is full, so not too bad. 9 matches. Jake Phoenix defeated Scarecrow in the opener. Pogo defeated the Russian. Ruthless Domination defeated Jake Elliott and Baron Von Kane. Blake Money Wright defeated Hidori. TJ Powers defeated Jackson Morgan. Dutch Platinum defeated David Light. Jordan James won a scramble match that included D-Buck, Sexton, Max Sterling, Timmy Turner of the Waterboy, and Zay Gates. War Ready Maliko defeated Michael Elgin. And Damien and Damon Real wrestled to a draw when both men couldn't answer the referee's 10 count in the last man standing match.
So it sounded like a solid show. Next up, we had a real good show, which I didn't get to attend. I did get to watch Marcus and Chris on commentary at Cornfield Carnage. And first of all, I want to say, Marcus and Chris, I think you guys did a great job on commentary. I really enjoyed the show. It was a little different watching live instead of being at the show. But it was a lot of fun. I thought you guys did a great job. You guys want to go over that show?
Sure. Marcus, you got the card?
Yeah, you want me to read off the results?
Yep.
That worked.
Why don't we go match for match?
All right. And well, first of all, if we're going to start that, let's start that. Godfather and Victoria started out the show. Well, after Terry Coons come out and welcomed everybody. Godfather and Victoria kind of reminisced a little bit in front of the crowd, but then Victoria got in there sometime. I think it was actually a little later, but she basically got in there and said, support these. It's the best promo I'd ever heard, or even what, I don't even know if you want to call it a promo. But she first complimented DCCW. The Godfather did too, for the amount of people that was in there. We're guessing anywhere between 400 and 500, probably higher, closer to the 500 mark. And they said they hadn't been in front of an independent wrestling crowd that big in a long time. And Victoria got in after the first match and complimented Maliko and
Luke Savage.
Yep. Luke Savage. Hey, Mike. And then she got in there and she says,
Mike,
you guys really should go and support these independent wrestlers. Gimmick tables. Buy a shirt, buy their pictures. This money helps them to put gas in their car, helps them to buy equipment. It helps them to do what they want to do and to support them. I mean, it was just outstanding. A real good compliment from both of them. So the first match, that's what happened. Luke Savage defeated Malenko to retain the DCCW US title in the opener. Main event match. I mean, I don't think there's anything on here that wasn't a main event match. So, what do you think there, Chris? If you recall.
Oh no, that was real good. I thought that was a great match to kick off the show. But one thing I wanted to add to the Godfather, another thing that he said as soon as he walked into the building, and that was before the show had ever started. Anything, any fans in there? The first thing he said when he walked in the building was, "Oh, this is a nice setup."
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was cool to get a compliment like that from him. I thought Godfather, Victoria, Gangrel, all of them were just awesome. They were all real friendly. I mean, hell, the Godfather even told people even if you don't have money for pictures or autographs or that, still come up and talk to me. I'll still answer your questions. He said you might not like the answers, but I'll still answer them. But they were real friendly and real. I don't know. Outgoing with the crowd, which
they were fantastic.
I thought was awesome because you see some of these former guys, former stars that aren't like that all the time. But no, I thought that was awesome. But I thought Luke Savage and Malenko put on a heck of a match to kick off the show.
We'll change the subject real quick. Hey, Brett, you have a good night too. And you said reach out. Hey, if you would like to come on the show sometime, we'd be more than happy to have you on the show, Brett. If you want to really give your guys a side, you can come on the show and give your side.
And before we continue, man, I just want to ask, how was having breakfast over the weekend with D.W.R and Marcus?
Mm-hmm. Well, it was more like a brunch. That's our second time Keller and I actually sat down and had a meal with Buck and his father, David.
The man,
Well, for one, D-Buck Sexton, and then we ate dinner actually with Ron Kraft, if you want to go that route.
Yeah.
We talk business, as you can imagine, and it's fantastic. So, yeah, love it.
Yes, always a good time with those guys.
Yeah. What's up, Justin?
Yeah. Bill, I knew Billy was a Luke fan.
Yeah, hey, Billy.
Billy's big
earlier. All right, Mr. Coons, have a good night. Daniel, I'll talk about you here in a little bit. But yeah, Daniel was there. Daniel and the AACW crowd was well represented. They were in the house on Saturday night as the promoter Shane Calzert and Shooting with Shane, Damon DeVille, and Daniel. I'm sorry, I can't remember what your wrestling name is, but also Rick Winters and his son are AACW superfans. They were also there, and Jake Elliott was there in the crowd with his wife and family, and
yeah.
you got to experience one of these, Billy. You know what I'm talking about. I kind of mark out sometimes, but they mark out for me too. It's kind of an interesting. My position's kind of interesting than most fans. So,
who'd we have who was the second match, Marcus?
The High Rollers defeated Max Sterling, Jake Phoenix, and Hidari.
Yeah, that was a good match as well. Except, man, there wasn't a bad match on the show. I think the show, I would say, was right up there as maybe show of the year that we've been to. I mean, it was right up there. An awesome show.
Top 5.
And we haven't even got toward the second half of the show. Well, actually, not even the second half of the show. First show or last match before intermission, you had the DCCW title on the line.
Yes.
With Dalton Love, Gangrel, and the King Mitchell Taylor, and that was an awesome match. And then also to see Dalton Love, somebody I've known for a long time, see him get a chance like that to win the title. Not only win the title, but to be in the ring with a guy like Gangrel, and then Gangrel give him a big vote of respect after the match was pretty cool to get to watch.
And with Gangrel, he didn't address the fans, but the minute that music hit and he come out that curtain, he was spot on, and he still has it. He kept up right with the Dalton and Mitchell, and it was outstanding.
Hey, how's it going, Shane?
Shane, I'm going to tell a story about you, Shane. Shane went over to the Godfather with some vintage Godfather action figures still in the card, unopened, and had them autographed. And he was grinning from ear to ear. I haven't seen Shane Cowser grin, I don't think, maybe 4 times the entire time I've known him actually smile like he did. But yeah, he really had something. He showed them to me, and they were really outstanding. So.
Yeah, the match. Well, of course, Dalton won the championship, DCCW championship. That was 1 year anniversary, kind of being with DCCW. So that was a big match. Got the rub from Gangrel after the match. Gangrel raising his hand. So I thought that was a real good match. The show was just really. I don't want people to take it as negative. I wouldn't say it was the best wrestle show that I've seen all the way through that DCCW has done, but entertainment wise, it was outstanding. It was off the charts. It was a good wrestle show. I'm not saying it wasn't, but the entertainment factor for that show was great.
Well, it has to be entertaining. So, that's about 50 of the battle. So.
What was next? What was next?
We missed one. You went to Dalton Love, but Jackson Morgan defeated Dutch Platinum via DQ. But that was just crazy. Dutch walked in there. All the ringside tables, all the VIP tables got pizzas. That was part of their package. And Dutch stopped at that table directly in front of us, opened one of them pizza boxes up, pulled a piece of pizza out, took a bite of it, threw it into the second row over on the other side of the ring, and he made a little video of it. I don't know if you see that or not. Yeah. And those people were eating it up. They weren't mad or nothing. And in fact, at intermission, he come over and apologized, and they offered him more. Hey, you want more? That was fantastic. It's like, but Jackson showed up with this big old sledgehammer, which was the first time he's ever done that. And, Dutch got out of town quick. He low blowed him, and that's the first time I've seen a DQ for a low blow in a long time. A lot of those low blows go unnoticed by the referee, and Dutch was out of there, and me and Chris agreed that Dutch probably should have left because Jackson wasn't happy. So, sorry, Kelly's sister's calling in. But anyhow.
You never know what you're going to hear with Marcus.
Yeah, you're not. Well, normally it's your girlfriend, so Kelly's sister, I guess, could call in.
That's true. It's normally my girlfriend or my dogs or something or
that. After intermission, Michael Elgin defeated Blake Money Wright in one heck of a Oh man, they wore each other out. They had to wear each other out. Those guys were limping to the back room because they were so tired after they got done.
It was a great match.
Yeah, that was a war. It was a real fun match to watch. It was a war, and great way to kick the second half of the show off.
And that actually was set up from the night before, because the reason War Ready Maliko won the match between Michael Elgin is because Blake Money Wright come out and distracted him. And so that match was actually set up Friday night for DCCW. So then we had the ladies, triple threat ladies, Storm Garcon, which we met at JICW a few weeks prior, took on Ari Alexander and Shauna Reed in a triple threat match, and Storm Garcon won that. And then
I was a little surprised by that victory.
Yeah, well, we was too. We figured it was an upset because she took on. I mean, we're not that familiar with Storm to really have a opinion of her yet, but we know Ari Alexander and Shauna Reed are two of the top ladies, not in just the state but the country. So that was a heck of a victory for Storm Garcon to have a victory over those ladies. So
I agree.
And then the match of the year. Sorry, everyone. Match of the year. Funny Bones defeated Jordan James in one of the most. It was a hardcore match of things that I have never, ever seen done in my entire time of being in this sport and watching it. I've seen a lot of hardcore. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've not seen, for one, they were chanting violence. I've never, even ECW guys have never chanted violence chants. To drop him on the thumbtacks, grab him, and spin him around in him for about 3 rounds, and then pour lemon juice all over him.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Putting him under the door and jumping through the door. I mean, we see shit we've never seen in hardcore before. And it was weird because we were referencing the one we seen at JICW, and we said that was the best hardcore match of the year, and it got dropped down to number 2 because they outdone it. So,
yeah. Real quick on that, Marcus. Jared had told me about Funny Bone 3 or 4 weeks before that show, and was telling me how outstanding he was. And I believe Jared, but he undersold it. Funny Bone was just out of this world. It's just something completely different.
First time I've ever been in a building where the whole place is chanting violence. First time I've ever had it happen, and it had to happen 2 or 3 times. But I was excited about seeing Funny Bone because the same I'd heard Jason McGraw told me quite a bit about him, and then Jared had talked about him. But yeah, I agree with you. I think they undersold him as well. I'd love to see the guy again.
Yeah,
I know
I've got people.
He's from around the Vegas area,
Yes,
right?
Vegas,
But man, it was entertaining. And Jordan James, who I've always been a big Jordan James fan, but Jordan James was awesome in that match as well.
Yeah,
I know we talked to Jordan after the show a little bit, so and we told him about how we felt about the match and stuff. But no, them 2 guys put on a heck of a show that night.
You could put Jordan with anybody, and he's going to have a great match. That's how good Jordan is.
And in a lot of different styles.
Yes, any style match. You wouldn't think that
I knew he could do hardcore, but the last
great.
hardcore I seen him in, he was in a cage match with Itch for doing hardcore out back at the Dub. But, well, shoot, that was nothing compared to what we seen Saturday. And also, Glenn, I want to thank you again for the sign. During our broadcast, I was getting all kinds of PMs from people that actually seen it on TV.
You're welcome out.
And in NGW on Sunday, I had people walking up, hey, I seen your name on TV. I seen your name on TV. So if you watch our feed from Saturday, we even bring that up, that the sign was seen on national TV. And
I'll be taking it back down with me at NXT in a couple weeks, so you'll be back on TV.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. I greatly appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And again, for Aaron and Chris for putting it on AEW, I don't know if I thank them or not, but brothers, if you are on here, thank you for that. I greatly appreciate it. So,
speaking of Chris,
there he is, Chris. I just complimented you. I don't know if I thanked you on our feed or not, Chris, but thank you and Aaron for doing that for AEW when you guys was down there. So, all right, we got a new J County champion as Joey the Kid Owens defeated Logan Myers in a 4 corners chain match to win the belt.
That was a good match too.
Yeah, it was.
It was a great show, a great crowd, especially when you consider the fact that Fastlane was going on in Indianapolis, 14,000 people there. Not only that, Marcus, you may not be aware of this, in Muncie, we had like 3,500 to 4,000 people sell out Emmons Auditorium for a big comedy show. So, I mean, there was just all kinds of things going on this weekend. And for J County and DCCW to get that kind of crowd for pro wrestling on a Saturday night, I think with everything going on, I think is just a testament to J County and Mr. McGraw and especially DCCW.
Yeah, Kelly and I got to the building. We got checked into the motel. We ran over to the building. We wasn't even sure anybody was there. And Jason was the only one there. He's in there setting up chairs. He was worried. But you can ask Chris that the minute that building and them doors open and those people flooded in there, he come by our announce table 3 or 4 times, or fist bumping us, grinning ear to ear. He was just happy that
you guys that we did down here for Fastlane. That line for Fastlane that line stretched all the way up to at least Pennsylvania and New York. So I'm not surprised that DCCW get the same kind of turnout on Saturday that use that.
I was worried. I'm not gonna lie. I was worried because of the Fastlane going on in Indy, especially because I knew a lot of pro wrestling fans in Indiana. I mean, they're going to go to that. So that worried me about what kind of crowd they were going to draw. I mean, I still thought they'd draw decent, but I didn't know if it was going to be like it was last year for Cornfield Carnage when you had Foley, and how it was going to transfer over to this year with that going on. I mean, there weren't very many open seats at all in that building.
No, not at all.
And the crowd was into it. The crowd was loud all night. I don't think anybody went home disappointed.
I had some friends that went and got great pictures. They were thrilled. I seen Marcus's pictures. I seen the other pictures that Jason McGronham's put up. Seemed like it was just a great night, man. Everybody seemed happy to me. So, real quick on that note, DCCW, man, I just want to give them a big shout out because I've kind of did a little homework on them for the year. They've done 7 shows and probably the smallest crowd they've had out of those 7 shows, probably between 250 and 300. So they've been pretty much between 250 to 500 every show this year. And that's pretty outstanding. They got an 8th show coming up here in Lafayette, November 3rd, I believe, a fundraiser for muscular dystrophy. It's going to be a huge show. We'll go on to that, more in detail at a later date. But DCCW, the vision that Mike has and Terry and all their staff has is a little bit different than some of the other promotions, man. They're I think Mike's, and I don't mean to speak for Mike, but I think his idea is, hey, go big or go home. He's really trying to take it to a different, completely level. He's not trying to do shows to draw 100 people. That's not what he's trying to do. He's bringing in big names. He's doing entertainment value. He's trying to do it on a big scale, and I think they're knocking it out of the park. That's just my opinion. And let's be honest, I'm a DCCW homer, so I'm not gonna lie about it. I am. I am, because they're great to me. They've been great to Chris. I know they've been pretty good to Marcus too. So they're great people over there. But there's a lot of good promotions out there, and support all independent wrestling. And I'll get off my soapbox.
Oh, Austin wrestled the ladies' man about 15 years ago.
He pinned him. Austin pinned him.
Yep.
And he pinned Jason Maple's butt.
He wants a rematch, Austin.
I was going to say the same
He's
thing.
a lot bigger, Austin. I don't think I do that rematch.
I retired.
He's retired. Yeah.
Hey,
retired undefeated. There you go.
Hey, you retire before you can get beat.
We're going to run. Okay to move on now? Or you still got Sunday show?
Yeah, you want me to hit Sundays?
Oh, real quick. Also, don't forget this show here in a couple weeks.
Oh yes, that's another big show coming up.
Yeah, will be a great one.
AACW, Kokomo, Indiana, October 21st. They're another promotion that puts on a lot of good shows. Has one of the best crowds you're going to find at a pro wrestling show.
Most definitely.
So definitely go check out AACW, Kokomo, Indiana.
811 Dalton Love T-shirt when they up there.
No, Terry Coons takes care of that.
Yeah, he about got me shot.
Yeah.
But they got the Excellence Rumble coming up. There's at least 30 guys going to be in that Royal Rumble style match to crown the new Excellence title holder on the 21st. And Kokomo's place to be on the 21st. And I know there's other shows around, but that's where we're all going to be. So I've known Shane a long time. So all right. Then on Sunday, NGW did a double shot over the weekend. They were at Burnettsville on Saturday. And, of course, I wasn't there. But then on Sunday, they did part 2 in Crawfordsville. Jeremy Hagley and Ari Alexander.
Oh, you're good, Marcus.
Oh,
my bad.
Jeremy Hagley and Ari Alexander defeated Cecil Cerveza and Tyler Scott. Thomas Keith defeated Shauna Reed, Thunder Kitty, and Haley Shadows in a fatal 4-way to retain the NGW Hoosier title. Justin Danger, who has now got a type of new persona. I love it. We talked about it a little bit. And he also has new shirts. So just so you know, get it with Justin Danger. He defeated Skullduggery.
It's a shirt.
Have you seen the shirt?
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I like it.
Jake Phoenix defeated the Waterboy. The DCCW heavyweight champion, which they didn't announce it that way, Dalton Love defeated David Glide. D-Buck Sexton defeated Zay Gates. And Jason Levi defeated Jackson Morgan to retain the NGW title. So
I know you said it was a solid show. I knew you was wore out from the day before, but you said it was a solid show.
Yeah, we were all wore out. Every one of us, because Cecil and Tyler wrestled Jason Levi and Dalton Davis the night before. And I don't know who wrestled who, but them guys, those Jason Levi and Dalton Davis are stiff. And those guys walked in there, and then 90% of DCCW was at NGW, and they were just all kind of looking at each other like we're all beat to hell. But The only thing I would have changed at NGW is if you got 4 seasoned lady wrestlers, I would not have put them in matches like that. Me and Tony talked about this, and me and Ron Kraft talked about it. I would have do a tag team. You don't see lady tag teams, and that's what I would have done. I would not have had them in there.
That would have been a great one.
All right, real quick, guys.
We got a special
Don't
guest.
interrupt. We got a special guest joining us real quick. So let's throw him in here.
Oh yeah. Well, they're with the show, guys. Glenn.
Yep.
Have you met Mike King before?
Can you hear us?
I've seen him on the show with you guys.
How's it going, Mike?
I don't know if he can hear us.
No, I think he froze up.
I think he might be froze up.
Or it may just be staring at us. I don't know.
Maybe he's pissed. Maybe I pissed him off. Okay, real quick, while we're getting the Mike King situation figured out here, let's talk about Fastlane real quick, guys. I know you've seen it, Austin. What'd you think?
I thought it was a pretty good show. Everybody was worried about it only being 5 matches, which I don't like. There was only 5, but all 5 matches were solid. I thought they were all decent matches. They're entertaining. I give it overall a 4 out of 5 for a show. I thought it was a really good, entertaining show.
Yeah, I think they knocked it out of the park. I really liked it. I didn't watch it the next day because I watched my buddies here, Austin and Marcus, doing their thing Saturday night. But I watched it the next morning from the hospital on my little phone. I did watch it. It was a good show. I think the show accomplished what they wanted. They helped get LA Knight over. I thought that was a really good match. I thought the Seth Rollins match. I know some people were upset because Nakamura didn't win, but I still think that match was an A. I thought it was great. I think Carlito coming back was cool. I think they got with Uso and Cody Rhodes. I think just moving that story on. So I think it was a real good show. Glenn, I think you watched it, didn't you?
Yes, I got a lot to chime in for this one. I liked it. The show was a 5 out of 5 for me. When they brought out.
It looks like Glenn's still there.
Yeah.
He's still at Game
Glenn was actually in the house. Glenn was in attendance at Fastlane. He didn't watch on TV. He was like right there.
Yeah, so, I was in a great spot right behind Smiles, also known as a green shirt guy. That show was a 5 out of 5. Everybody knew it was funny because when Ray and the LWO came out, like the crowd, some of the people to my right was like chanting Carlito, and stuff. So I was like, well, Carlito must be here tonight because you got some smart Marks knows about him being there. So sure enough, near the end of the match, going towards the finish, Carlito comes out to save the day. And the main event was great. The only negative about that is I wish they would have did something with those Indy cars. I would, A
lot of people said that they would like to see him do something.
Fans were chanting, or they was like chanting like destroy the cars or something like that. It was insane. But at the end of the day, got to take home the Fastlane John Cena chair. So
that's cool. Yep, that is.
Everybody.
Austin's got one of them chairs. He didn't get it from the show, but he got one. Just bought them a few years ago.
Actually, right here.
Yeah, it's right here.
Well, if you want to buy a Fastlane chair, Glenn says there's one, and he showed it. There's one on eBay. Somebody had it up within 24 hours after the show.
As our cool Alice Crowley, Alice Crowley magnet that she gave us. That's actually one of her. It was one of her AEW talent passes. She had turned it into a magnet, and she gave it. So I put it's sitting here on that chair.
That's awesome. Marks, did you get to watch the show? I know you watched
it. I got up to the ladies, and then I didn't get any further because it's been kind of busy around here. But I'll get to it.
Okay, well, we're going to move on real quick about what you guys think of the Tuesday Night Wars last night. You had
I watched NXT. I didn't watch AEW. NXT was great.
NXT was fantastic
from start to finish. It was great.
I wish I was there at NXT.
He tried everything to get.
Oh my goodness! I tried like you wouldn't believe. I even emailed him like twice about that. But I'll be going in 2 weeks. But as far as the show is concerned, on the NXT side, like I think Tony, I spoke to Tony about earlier today, or it may have been last night or today. It was a 2-hour power trip. Like,
oh man,
it went quickly. Like
fastest 2 hours ever watched.
Yes, it was that good, start to finish.
Yeah, I really like that they chose, the first 30 minutes were commercial free. I really like that they chose Asuka and Roxy to be the first match because that was a match I was really looking forward to. I thought it was a really good match. And of course, the Undertaker showing up at the end was pretty cool.
I tell you what,
And Big Phil, that's right, bro. I couldn't imagine the goosebumps that Braun Breaker had last night being in the ring with the Taker.
He sold it good though.
Oh yeah, he jumped so far up in the air for that choke slam that I think Undertaker about lost grip. He jumped so high for him. That's one of the best choke slam he's done in 10 years. Of course, Braun Breaker helped him with that, but I thought it was great. Him coming out the American Badass, I thought it was awesome. It was just fantastic. So everybody knows the Tuesday Night Wars ended with NXT with a little over 900,000 people watching, and AEW with just a little over 600,000. So, the AEW fans are not very happy. But one thing real quick on that is NXT did have 850,000 last week. So their ratings have really been coming up and doing well. It was a really good show. But the highlight, I don't know what you guys thought, other than the jacked up facial hair that Brian Pillman Jr. had going on. His promo, Marcus, you got to go check out this promo.
Yeah, you need to check it out.
He's no longer Brian Pillman Jr.
What's he like?
26 years ago today, my dad was buried. Tonight, I bury Brian Pillman Jr. because I'm nobody's junior. My name now will be Lexus King, and that's a shout out to his dead sister Lexus and his mom's name now, which is King. Her last name's King, and he will become the king of NXT.
That's on Peacock now, right?
Yes, it was one. You probably can find it on YouTube or something. It was one hell of a promo. I loved it. It was the best thing on the whole show, and there was a lot of good things on the show. But to me, that's what stood out to me. I thought the matches made sense. It was just a great show. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was an A all the way. Real quick on AEW, I got to see it. Highlights of that: Bryan Danielson defeated Swerve Strickland. I love Swerve. I mean, you have him beat Hangman Adam Page at the pay-per-view. Now you have him lose to Danielson. I don't know if that makes sense, but we'll see. Hobbs destroyed Chris Jericho. I mean, pretty much, I wouldn't call it a squash match, but probably 70-30 on Jericho, which I think is big for Hobbs. I think Jericho's going away for a little while. He's going to do some concerts. Orange Cassidy gained the championship from Rey Fenix, the international championship. I don't understand why they ever talk it off him and give it to Moxley to begin with. Saraya lost her championship to Shida. Shida's got the championship for the third time. I don't know what's going on there. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. And then Edge and Luchasaurus. Edge won his first AEW match. It was on his debut for them on TV. And a guy made a good point last night on Busted Open. See what you guys think. And I think he's right. One of the big factors I think that could be hurting them before, when they first started, the crowd was just so big and so just going crazy for the show. And now they're not getting that audience. They're not getting that 6,000, 7,000 people. Now they got 2,000, 3,000 people, and the crowds ain't as big and it's not as boisterous. I think that's hurting the product because that's one thing that they will always talk about in Busted Open. This is fun. This is fun. This is a fun product. It's fun. It's lost that luster. Of course, you know, that first couple years, you're going to have that everybody loves everything phase because you're not WWE. And that's kind of over. So do you guys think that could be making a big difference, the lack of the crowds and the enthusiasm?
I think maybe they're stretching themselves too thin, too many shows during the week.
I agree. I think they've grown too fast to go from one show to, what is it, 3 or 4 shows now a week. I think I agree with you, and I think that's a really good point. What do you think, Austin?
I don't watch a lot of AEW, but all I can say from what I watch is, to me, it just doesn't feel like there's a lot of substance. It all feels like the same thing. Whenever I'm watching it, it just feels like I've seen it. It feels tired.
That being said, the show last night was a pretty solid show. It was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I've heard there were some really good matches.
Yeah, it was a good show. Real quick, I want to shout out a match that I found out that I seen this week. Want to give everybody a heads up; they could check it out. It's from 1992. I think you'd really enjoy it. It's Stunning Steve Austin versus Kenja Muda, which is the Great Muda. by the way, and it's from 1992 G1 Climax 92. It was in Japan. Unbelievable. Definitely look up that match. I think you'll be really happy that you did. Okay, guys.
Phil had a question. Said thoughts on MJF.
Best heel in the business, not Bucks or not D. Bucks Cessna or Jeremy Halley.
Oh no, I like MGF or MJF. I really like him. I've been telling Dad this for a while now. I think he's going to end up in WWE. I really do. And I think he's going to end up being a real big star. He's already a star, and I think he goes over there. He's just going to get bigger and bigger. But yeah, I think he's the best thing AEW has.
Yeah. I mean, I don't watch AEW weekly, but I always look at the highlights of what MJF's doing because it's just so entertaining. He's not the best wrestler in the ring, but he's gotten better and he's great on the mic and everything else character-wise. So
I think all Pillman was missing is a character, and I think he'll get the direction on a character with NXT and WWE and Shawn Michaels, and because he's very good in the ring. We've seen him. I've seen him 2 or 3 times live in the ring. He is very good in the ring. He's got the ability in the ring. That's not an issue for him. I think if he wants it, it's all there for him to take. I really believe this kid could be a star.
Yes,
I really do.
You know, I'm pretty high on him, so
I've never seen him wrestle, so I'm excited to see.
Yeah, Marcus, we got to see him live. I know you've seen him at least once. I've seen him 2 or 3 times.
Who, Brian Pillman?
Yep,
I've seen him a couple times. Yes. What's up, Tanner?
Yeah, Tanner asked thoughts on Brian Pillman Jr.
I think he's going to knock it out of the park. I love that promo, man. I thought that promo was fantastic. I really did. I was up out of my seat on that promo.
I know
you knocked it out of the park.
You came in here to tell me about it.
Yep.
He was like, "You need to come see this shit," you know.
Oh yeah, I did. That's unbelievable. And then I come in there telling him about the Undertaker coming out on the motorcycle. Okay, guys, we're gonna get to our things that we had here. Find my paper. I'm losing my place. Sorry. Getting kind of old and senile.
Tanner Kelly said promo 10 out of 10.
I agree.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I agree with that. Well, anyway, the one topic that we had for tonight was
Patty.
Hey, Patty. Hey. We had characters, gimmicks, wrestlers that we thought that were overrated or underrated. Excuse me, I'm saying it wrong. That were underrated, but we liked. Like just never really got over, but we liked. And then on the under end of that spectrum, we had people that were really pretty well liked, fairly popular that we just didn't get the character or gimmick or that wrestler. Guys, I'll go first on the ones that wasn't real popular that I liked. I told Marcus about this one. It was the Genius Lanny Poffo. I love the Genius, and I didn't realize it. It came from an old Bruiser, Dick the Bruiser thing from the 70s. There was a tag team called the Graduates, which I was a fan of, and Lanny Poffo's dad was in the Graduates. Angelo Poffo was one of the original graduates. He wasn't there long, but he was one, and that's where that gimmick came from for the Genius. I really like that. Another one I liked that was kind of ahead of its time and ended up being used kind of by Bray Wyatt was Waylon Mercy.
That was on my list, Tony.
Another one that he had a pretty good win streak, but then it kind of fell off. I always liked Tatanka. I always was a big fan of Tatanka. I really liked him. A tag team that me and Marcus, I bet you it's on Marcus' list, maybe. Power and Glory, Hercules and Paul Roma. Enjoyed them. This one, I love this guy, Akushi. I don't know if you guys remember him. He had a great match with Bret Hart on Monday Night Raw. A fantastic match. I was a big fan of Akushi. Another one from Dick the Bruiser's time. I've said it times before. I don't know if I ever seen him win a match, but he was one of my favorites growing up with Prince Pullins. Another one, these two, you guys probably gonna make fun of me because I did like them. Connor Crush, the Hawaiian gimmick, I liked it. I know it was a stinker, but I liked it. And the other one I liked, and I don't know why I didn't get over, was Atom Bomb. And a side note on that, Adam Bomb and Conan Crush become a pretty popular tag team in WCW, winning the belts there on the Monday Night Wars.
Phil said a guy who just don't. He said, I think a guy who just don't get enough credit. Brooklyn Brawler.
He's made the best names. Every superstar that ever made it big went through the Brooklyn Brawler first in the opening matches when they first started at WWE.
And then on my overrated ones that I didn't get, one that was really big in TNA was Karma. I know she was big. I know she was tough. I just didn't get it. Another one that was pretty popular. I liked him better. He was pretty popular in NWO and in WCW, but I liked him better as Marcus Alex Bagwell under Sting's wing. He's under the wing of Sting. Most of the stuff I just didn't like. That's just my opinion. Another one I didn't get was Psycho Sid. Another one that was real overrated that had a decent run at first, but I think she got tired with things was Ronda Rousey.
Ladies man Mike King way overrated.
Oh yeah, who said that?
Tyler.
Tyler Haiti.
Another one that I think is way overrated, the Bella Twins. I didn't get.
Oh, you ain't lying on that one.
Some people may get mad at me for this. I just never was a big fan. I'm not saying he wasn't good. I know he was over with ECW Crown. I just never got the Sandman, guys. I just never was a Sandman fan. And I'm not saying I hated him, but I just didn't get it. That's what I got, guys. Who wants to go next?
I'll go ahead and go next. My list is kind of short. Tony already mentioned one that I have on my list already, that being Waylon Morrissey. My other one that was like the potential was there, but like I don't think he got enough time with it. But is Shawn O'Hara's 2003 Devil's Advocate gimmick. That would, if you go and look at those vignettes and promos, like I feel like that character could have been something very great.
There was something there. I agree with you.
Yeah, like because like as a person, and just living life, you understand what he's talking about in some way or form. So I think that could have been a gimmick that could have worked out.
Hey, Glenn, let me answer a question or something that Tanner said here. Hey, Tanner, me and Chris and Austin's been thinking about doing that gimmick, the Mexicools. We're talking about bringing that back. We get some bandanas and some lawnmowers, riding mowers, and maybe me and Chris. What do you think, Tanner? You think we can pull it off?
I would love to see that.
Billy had a question.
Yeah, he said, what was the Brooklyn Brawler's real name?
Steve Lombardi.
Yeah, Steve Lombardi.
Yeah.
Well, he just commented. He said, "Wait, was it Steve Lombardo?"
Yeah. So Steve Lombardi. I think it's Lombardi.
I think it's Lombardi. I think.
Another one that didn't get a chance, probably because his character back in WWE was the Stalker Barry Windham. I think that gimmick could have done well, but obviously Barry Windham in WWE at that time in like '96, I think it was. It's like you could tell it wasn't going to work as well. So like, and DDP's run when he came into WWE, that's another one that I think got lost in the shuffle and not paired well with the right thing. If he had came into WWE with how he was when he left WCW before they closed down, DDP could have been a decent wrestler in that way, So
I think the problem there was with a lot of those guys that came from WCW. Some of them made it, of course, but I think a lot of them didn't make it because it wasn't Vince's vision, so they wouldn't go make it.
Yeah.
That just was Vince being Vince, unfortunately.
Tanner said we could pull it off. Billy said the Mexican jumping beans.
I like that name better.
That's the name. I like that name.
I like that name better too.
I like that better than Mexico.
Brody Boxing is the best
down there.
I agree with that, Brody. You are awful great, man.
How's it going down there in Texas, Brody?
And then we had one other one.
Ian.
LA Knight is definitely overrated. Really hate that gimmick. It's more annoying than the Daniel Bryan yes chance.
Damon. The crack kills. Stay off the crack. Man. Come on.
Yeah, the booty and the white stuff, man. Stay off of it.
All right. I mean, I can go next if you guys want.
Okay.
Okay, I'll start with the gimmicks that got over that I just was never a fan of. I'll go ahead and get this one out of the way. I love Bray Wyatt, but I never got behind the Fiend. It was more the way they booked it. I love the character, but the way that it got booked, everything, I couldn't get behind it.
I think it was hard to book.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I'll just get that one out of the way. I know most people's not gonna agree with that.
I understand it.
Number 2 is a gimmick that I think most people kind of now are saying, but the Eugene gimmick, no.
Yeah, I had that on my list and I forgot, or I had it in my mind and I forgot it. Yeah, I did.
So you brought that
then,
up. Here in a little bit, you're going to hear Eugene's.
Yeah, he's going to be doing it.
All right. And then the third one that I had gimmick that got over didn't like was Rusev Day. I liked Rusev, but the whole gimmick thing, I didn't get it.
It was
It
over.
just wasn't my favorite. It was over. It was definitely over. And then wrestlers that got over that I never got behind, John Moxley or Dean Ambrose. I don't get it. Honestly, I don't like the way I don't like his style. I'm not saying he's bad. I've just never been a big fan of him.
I'm not the big Moxley fan now with some of the stuff he's doing, but I was a big Dean Ambrose. Oh, I was a big Dean Ambrose fan.
I liked him better as Dean, but I never was even really that behind as Dean either. Then Ronda, like you said, I never got behind Ronda. I think she just wasn't that good in the ring person or on the mic. Her best match, in my opinion, was her first match at WrestleMania in the tag match. That was the best match in my opinion. So
Yeah, I like that one though.
yeah, And then this third one, the wrestlers got over that I don't like Eddie Kingston at all. I don't get it. He's very over. People say he's good on mic. I disagree. I think he's not. I don't like his ring style that much. I'm not saying he's bad, just not my cup of tea.
I like Eddie fine, but I don't get the big hype for him.
Yeah. For a wrestler that I like that didn't get over in WWE at least, because that's when I seen I really like Perry Saturn a lot. He was great in the ring, and I think he's very underrated. He's not talked about. They never gave him a lot of story, but
Do you remember Moppy?
yeah, that's the story he got.
Well,
That's the story he got.
for something. I don't remember what he did, but that was a punishment for something.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it kind of got over.
Yeah. And then gimmicks that I like that didn't get over, that some of them got a little over, but Nexus kind of got over the fans a little, but the way they booked it and like just buried it really quick, I think that group could have been really good. And so I know John Cena kind of squashed it a little at SummerSlam, I think, with that, and I think it could have been a lot better. Retribution, I think what hurt that, I think it could have been good. I think Ali being the leader could have been good. It's just being in COVID and the way they booked it, it didn't work, and it never had a chance really.
Yep.
And then this one's a little goofy one, but I always liked the Spirit Squad. They were goofy, and the stuff they did was goofy. But
I think somebody's laughing at you.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he's laughing at you.
No, I was laughing at the gimmick, but yeah, I mean,
it was a goofy gimmick, but it was entertaining. They had good talent as well in there. I mean, you had Dolph and Kenny, and yeah.
Yeah, that theme music is catchy though. I'll say that.
So,
you guys must be talking. You guys must have been talking about my music.
Okay, Mike, let me finish up something real quick. Marcus, you got yours? Or Austin, you done?
yeah, I'm good.
I got a big long list. You want to go ahead and do Mike, and we can come back to me.
Okay, go ahead, Mike. What you got to say, man?
Yeah, I'm going to be real quick, guys. I just want to jump on here real quick and everything. Wanted to get on here and say if one of you guys can tag Philip Fannery on here so he can see this. I'm also going to jump on mine and do it as well. Obviously, what you guys talked about earlier, I'm not trying to rehash anything or start a whole nother conversation over or whatnot. But the fact that a fan who is a big-time fan in Muncie got injured on behalf of a wrestler is absolutely ridiculous and uncalled for. And it's a travesty in professional wrestling as it is. It sets a bad precedence for all professional wrestling, and it could shut down a whole lot of avenues for everybody. Delaware County Fairgrounds can say, you know what, no wrestling, period. Armories can say no wrestling, period. It just goes down the line, and people don't understand that stupid acts by stupid people and by people not controlling their people. You can say what you want, people are people, but as a promoter, you control your people. I mean, flat out. So, I mean, I take responsibility for every single one of my people that I have in the building. And what I want to do, because Philip is such a big fan of professional wrestling, I want to extend front row seats for the entire 2024 year to DCCW events for him and his caretaker, or him and another person that's taking care of him at that point in time. So that's from DCCW, myself and Terry Coons, the other owner of the company. We had already talked about that, and we wanted.
He's part-time CEO.
Part-time CEO Terry. But we wanted to extend that to Philip anytime he wants to come to the DCCW event in 2024. He is open to come to every single event for free next year and set front row. And I'll do one thing even better. Any name that I have on the card or at the event, he will get a free autograph from them as well.
That's awesome. Hey, Mike, as a promoter, I did have a question. Let's say that would have happened at your event. God forbid, something like that happens at your event. What actions would you take? What would you do?
Well, I definitely wouldn't have pushed it off on the fairgrounds. I mean, if somebody would beat the hell out of one of my fans, one of my wrestlers at the Jay County Fair, just this past Saturday when I had a phenomenal show, freaking fantastic show, and went off without a hitch, just like all of our shows. If one of my guys would have hit one of my fans, I probably can't talk about what I would do if they were still around on premise, but I would definitely either go with that fan, make sure that they got whatever attention that was needed. I definitely wouldn't blame them for their actions. Professional wrestling is an entertainment sport. There is not one time, any show where you can go to and if there's a heckling fan and one of the entertainers go outside and just take care of business on their own just because they said something wrong. You know how many times that I've been called different things? You know how many times that my wife's been brought into it, my kid's been brought into it, my dad, my mom, you name it. People have said every single thing that they possibly could to me. I remember I've been in it for 18 years, and probably 16 of the 18 years or 17 or 15 of the 18 years, I was a heel, and I was a damn good heel. I've had to have police escorts out of buildings before. I've had to sneak out of buildings before. I've had my life threatened and all this stuff, but there's not one time I put my hands on a fan. Not one time. Just because I got my feelings hurt or I got butt hurt over something that they said. Absolutely ridiculous.
I sell butt cream.
Well, the fans interaction like that is a big part of the show. A big part of
yes, but baby faces get cheered, heels get booed. The boos for the heels are like cheers for the heels.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
We want to generate the boos. We want people to hate us so much that they want to come back to see the baby faces whoop our asses. It is what it is.
What the sport's been based on from the beginning. That's what it's based on.
Yes, absolutely.
Good versus evil.
And you got to watch who you employ. It is what it is. Obviously they say, and you know what I hate the most about all this stuff going around in national news? They actually called him a professional wrestler. That's not a professional wrestler. He might have barely been trained. He was never a professional wrestler. And that's another reason why he should have never been on the show. I found out You know, he did one little spot for DCCW back, a few years ago in October. I'll say it before somebody else tries to, well, he was on your show too.
I'd already said it.
And he did one little spot on ours. I found out he wasn't trained fully, and I said, never again. And he was never at our show again. I mean, it's that simple. Yeah, Phil, you're absolutely right. You heckled the hell out of Mitchell Taylor. Never had any fear. That's right. You know, I've had dads already message us and say, "Oh my God, did you see what happened?" Well, my son is a heckler. Is my son at risk of getting hurt? Well, I mean, that's ridiculous. Nobody should fear going to an entertainment site, going to an entertainment show. Nobody. And I don't care who gets mad at me or who gets butt hurt. Just like I said when I posted what I did earlier, you can't talk to them because they do nothing wrong. This entire time they've been running, they've never done anything wrong. They won't admit to their wrongdoings and won't take responsibility for what they do.
Let me ask you, Mike, have you ever done anything wrong with your promotion?
I've done a lot of shit wrong in my life. A lot of shit wrong.
So have I. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, Terry's brother got on here, and I got a little heated, and I don't have a problem with Terry's brother. I really don't. I don't really know the guy, so how can I say I have a problem with it? We know what the main problem was. IPW. We know what it is, and it gets out of hand, and them guys put up with it. I guess because maybe they think they have to, whatever. But you can't talk out both sides of your mouth. And get upset because somebody's coming on you now after you've attacked, and they can't say they didn't attack because they did. I mean, I'm at Muncie Central with a good friend AJ Bradley who's trying to do something good, and you guys are trying to help him do something good. And his show, he's getting personally attacked, and that's a fact. We all seen it,
right? The thing about it,
AJ is a damn coach for a wrestling team. What the hell did he do?
Right. Well, the thing about it is, guys, and I'm on here. I'm not on here because it was IPW. Let's get this straight. It could have been anybody. It could have been my brother in this business and outside this business, Joey Owens with WCWO, and I would still be having the same thought, and I would have had conversations with Joey and this and that. I mean, the fact of the matter is that people that know nothing about the wrestling business should probably stay the hell away from promoting. There's only one of them over there that knows anything about the wrestling business. So, I mean, this is one of the problems.
God forbid, let's say something like that happened with Joey. I believe Joey would try everything in his power to make things right. I know you can't fix everything, but like you said, you could have been at the hospital. You could come up with money for what does the insurance cover?
Right.
That man shouldn't have to pay anything for his medical bills, Mike.
Right. Well, but instead it was, hey, what happens outside the building is we rented the building, and that's we're responsible. Bullshit. When I rent the National Guard Armory, I rent their parking lot. I mean, if they don't rent the parking lot, then they need to tell every one of their fans that they have to park outside the fair next time, and then walk in because they didn't pay for the parking lot to use it. And I mean, that's the fact. If you don't pay for something, you don't rent it, don't use it.
Well, who do you think's going to take the hit on this? It ain't going to be the county.
I can guarantee you one thing. I've seen stuff like this happen. If that family wanted to, they could sue literally the Delaware County Fair, IPW, and go after the Kynes personally. All three of them, easily.
No doubt.
It happened on Delaware County Fairgrounds property. It happened during an IPW event, and the man that actually did it will get hit with it too. It all depends on how far they're going to make it.
Yep.
Jordan, sorry, Jordan, they got caught up in this stuff. Jordan, you are Jordan. That match was absolutely phenomenal. They are right. I mean, everybody was standing on their feet. Something that you guys should definitely be proud of. I was happy that it happened on one of my shows. It was absolutely amazing. But like I said, I didn't want to rehash anything. I didn't want to jump on those soapbox guys. You guys do your thing. But Philip Finnery, 100% totally free 2024 for you and another person. Front row tickets to all DCCW events in 2024. We do stuff for our community. We do all kind of benefits for our community, and we want to take care of our fans, and that's what we do. We'll stand up for our fans no matter what happens, on what show, wherever it's at. We will stand up for our fans, and we will honor them, because without our fans, none of this is possible.
Hey,
I love you guys. I'm going to get off here.
Okay, stay off the soapbox. I need it because I'm kind of short.
You are. Yeah, I still see you're a certified midget, bub.
I agree. I can't argue.
All right, guys. I love you guys. You take care. But once again, Phil, 100% free in 2024, man. Love you. I'm glad you're a wrestling fan. You're welcome. You're more than welcome to our shows. We will make sure that nobody touches you. That goes for anybody that has any disability whatsoever. Any hacklers, we love the hacklers over at DCCW. Our guys are 100% professional. They know their job. They know they get hackled. You can come in and hackle as much as you want. But once again, please do not try to get into the ring. The ring is a no-go zone for fans. I mean, you guys touched on it earlier. It is a no-go zone for fans. It's that way even in the big leagues with WWE, AEW, TNA Impact. You step foot in the ring, then we have to protect our well-being and our lives as well. So stay out of the ring, stay in the fans. I did a show for the old IPW for Rusty Love one year, and Hillcroft came out and supported the wrestling show and had the front row, the entire front row. And I was working this guy's leg over on the pole, and I slid in, and I was on all fours, and I was right next to the ropes. And I turned, and right when I turned, one of the guys from Hillcroft jumped up from his front row seat and smacked me in the face. Standing on the floor. Standing on the floor, he smacked me in the face, wham! And all I did was like, ref, you gotta get this guy back. He can't be up at the ring like this. Get this guy back. What the hell is he doing? Do your job. And rolled right into it. But he physically assaulted me and slapped me in my face. I did not hunt him down in the parking lot afterwards. I promise you that. I actually, I talked to some of their handlers afterwards. They apologized to me. I said, you guys don't have to apologize to me. I said, I was glad that I had their attention. And it was absolutely awesome. So, guys, keep doing what you're doing. Sorry for cutting in. I just wanted to jump on here before it got too late, and I was in a spot that I could. So, you guys take care.
All right. Thanks, man.
Hey,
All right, later, Mike.
Special guest, ladies man Mike King. Sorry about that, Marcus.
Well, you're fine. All right. We ready?
Yep, we're ready.
You know this. Tony telling me I can only do 5 is.
I might as well just say 30.
Okay, then if I can only do 5, I got 4 lists of each. So, all right. So we're going to do the ones I liked. We're talking 80s Brutus Beefcake when he was with Johnny Valiant, WrestleMania 1, 2. He did get a thing with Hogan plug, but I always thought Brutus Beefcake was underused. And then they just destroyed him with all that crap they did at WCW. I liked the Mountie. I don't know why. There was just something about the Mountie. I think they could have ran that a lot longer than they did it.
I like the Mountie too.
I am the Mountie, and with that cattle prod thing,
Yep.
you could for some reason hear that sound over the PA system. Now we're talking early 80s, the Fabulous Ones. I thought it was a great gimmick. I think they were underused. I mean, I wasn't in the Memphis because it was before my time, but I think they probably was a lot better off. But then an underrated tag team that I really liked was the Fantastics. And then, of course, Hillbilly Jim and Elmer. And then I got the Powers of Pain. No, Powers of Pain, Powers of Pain, because I think they got undershadowed by Demolition and undershadowed by the Road Warriors. So, and then Power and Glory, I love that team.
Yep. It was a good team.
Um,
Real quick, Marcus, Tanner Kelly had a comment on here. He said he thinks Magnum TA was really underrated. I don't think he was underrated, Tanner. He got hurt. I think he
Yeah.
was going to be a megastar.
Yeah, he was underrated, but he was getting there. Yeah.
I think he was going to be a superstar.
Well,
And he got hurt.
out of my mind, he was going to be a superstar. I had the missing link. You remember the missing link?
Yep.
And then I had Killer Pawn. Kabuki. Remember Kabuki? Those guys were all kind of wrestling each other. And Kamala, those guys all kind of wrestled each other.
Not in Texas, and then
I got an ECW guy on here I liked. Amish Roadkill. Do you remember him?
yes, I do. I liked Amish Roadkill.
You know, I loved Amish Roadkill, and they put him with Danny Dorian, and I think he was just kind of a mid-card tag team.
They were a pretty good tag team, though.
But they never won the titles, though, did they?
Nope. I don't think so.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the ones that I thought was overrated. Corporal Kirshner was a Sergeant Slaughter wannabe, and they couldn't get Sergeant Slaughter. It was Sergeant Slaughter. I don't know. They needed somebody to take on the Russians, so they created Corporal Kirshner. But I didn't. 90s Bob Backlund. Of course, you know that. When he come back and was nuts. I mean, come on. That guy was a scientific genius in the 70s. And they brought him back as an idiot in the 90s. So, and he skipped the whole 80s in there. So, you ready for this one? Jimmy Jack Funk. That was just the third member of the Funk Brothers.
Yep.
Made no sense whatsoever. Tugboat. We all know what I think about Tugboat. More of what's that? What did he go on to be? And I know he went on to be Shockmaster. You know,
Shock the world.
Beverly Brothers.
That
And
one.
of course, New Razor and Diesel. Of course, everybody hated New Razor and Diesel.
Yeah.
Now you remember Outback Jack?
Yep.
They hyped that fella for the whole summer.
Yep.
He was on shirts. He was on ball cards, thermoses, and then he come in. He was 3 weeks, and they said this guy ain't worth a shit, and they got rid of him. But the Berserker, remember him?
Yep.
And how about the Oddities?
Yeah. The Oddities. I mean, I kind of like the Oddities. They're stupid, but
It was actually, I would rate them about C+. All right.
Now we're going to go with Bastion Booger,
Oh, God.
Friar Tuck.
yep.
Remember Evad, which was
Yep.
Dave Sullivan, but it was Evad.
Evad. That was horrible.
Terrible ad. Glacier. PN News. And now I got some can't think of his name. Big Josh and Doink, same character.
Yep.
Van Hammer. And then the Mean Street Posse.
Yeah, that was horrible.
So that's my
Same
list
group.
of terribles. My list of terribles.
You got any, Chris?
The ones that I had that were popular I didn't like was Goldberg.
Marcus gonna kill
I ne-
you.
I just never.
No,
I
no,
never
I won't now. I was a
I never
Goldberg
got
fan when
Goldberg.
he came out, but I'm no longer a Goldberg fan. I think they put all that putting him in all those overseas pay-per-views was horseshit. I mean,
Tell me how you
I
really
don't
feel,
know what
Marcus.
else to say. I don't know why they would.
Yeah, I never got Goldberg. The Young Bucks. I know I'm gonna take a lot of hate because of that, but the Young Bucks. I've just never been a Young Bucks fan for some reason. That tag team, they just haven't got behind him. Ronda Rousey, which I think it was Austin that
Yeah,
had
I
said.
had too.
Then Elegante.
Yeah, I thought I had that on there, but I guess I did
He had,
not.
a, he had a WrestleMania match.
Yeah,
but
but
he
he
just never.
he couldn't move. And his name was even Giant Gonzalez for a while. So
Yeah.
I mean, almost
Yeah,
had to
yeah.
like him because of the name.
No, they just did that stupid bodysuit on it.
Oh yeah,
They said
I had the wrestler and it had the bodysuit on it and everything.
The sad part about it is they said he was the nicest guy in the world, and then he ended up, I guess, homeless and poor and just terrible. I guess
Yeah, I remember Jim Ross interview about him.
And then some guys I liked, I thought was underrated. Gold Dust,
Yes.
Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
I've always been a big Nikki Cross fan. Hurricane Helms.
Oh my
I
Yes.
thought Hurricane was
Yep.
was talented. And I never thought he really got to where he could have got.
You know?
And then Barry Horowitz. Always like Barry patting himself on the back.
Yep. I like Barry.
And then Chris Benoit, which I thought he was underrated, but then of course with everything that happened, he got canceled. But even before that, I thought other than his mic skills, dude was unbelievable.
You get everybody's? Okay. Real quick, Marks, I want to see if you. I just found out something. Have you? I don't know if you've heard of the guy in AEW. His name's Will Hobbs. Have you heard of him? These guys know him. I didn't realize his father. I just found this out the other day. His dad was from WCW. Remember Ice Train?
Yes, I remember Ice Train.
I did not realize Ice Train was his father. I just found that out recently, so I thought that was cool.
Since you said that, I do have an amends. Remember how I said Slick? Slick was Rufus R. Jones's son, not Pork Chop Cash. I think I said Pork Chop Cash.
Yeah, you said
Rufus R. Jones. So,
Rights of censor. They even said that was the most stupid gimmick.
Yeah, remember that?
Did we see Right the Censor guy this weekend?
Yeah, he was in that.
Yeah, that's what I said. Didn't we see what Right the Censor guy?
His Godfather was in there. He became
the
good father.
The good father.
And they hated it because they took away the hose, man. The fans hated him.
Oh, that whole again, don't get me started on all that. We're all dressed in white shirts.
Annoying, interesting. That's like the most annoying, interesting I've ever heard.
Hey, Godfather was a cool dude, though. I got to talk to him, sit and talk to him for about 20 minutes outside before the show started and stuff. He, like I said, man, he was real friendly, real cool dude.
Well, that
even Victoria talked about how being part of the Ho Train really helped her get her start and stuff. So,
and the picture Kelly and I had taken with the Godfather was actually in Tony's spot behind the G.W.R table.
Cool.
So Tony couldn't be there, but we put the Godfather standing there. You can see how tall he was.
That's a
You
good
could have put Kelly on top of each other. Because Kelly was standing, and if she was standing on top of her shoulders, she'd still be shorter than the Godfather. That dude was
he's probably about 6'7".
He was tall.
Probably.
I think about 6'7". I always liked him. I know a lot of people. I liked him as Kama. A lot of people didn't, but I thought he was fine.
Undertaker and casket matches,
I was hoping he was going to do the Papa Shango
I would like
as
to
well.
because I really wanted a Papa Shango picture, but I'm not complaining. Not at all. That was
Marcus. We're going to have to pick one or the other. Do we want to do your thing that you have for this week, or do we want to do the Bleacher Report greatest cage matches of all time?
Let me tell you, I can hold Nick Dismore off till next week. Do you want me to do this week in wrestling history? I got like five things.
Yeah, do that, and then we'll do the cage match thing real quick.
Okay. Let me pull it up. Okay. This is courtesy of Dave Dynasty. Dave Dynasty used to work for Jerry Wilson down at Hoosier Pro. He also ran Midwest Regional Pro Wrestling, where Vinny Vachetti was his champion. But he lives somewhere, Virginia or somewhere, but he does history of Bruiser days. So on October 11th, 1981, Blackjack Mulligan defeated Bobo Brazil in Indianapolis to win the WWA heavyweight title. This was at Market Square Arena. Also on that card, the Kelly twins defeated Dick the Bruiser and Wilbur Snyder via DQ. You ever notice Snyder and Bruiser never got pinned?
No.
It was always by DQ. Blackjack Mulligan defeated Bobo Brazil. Spike Huber defeated Paul Christie. Debbie Combs defeated Priscilla Purcell. And El Bracero defeated the Sheik. And then I got a few more. Let me get them pulled up. Try to do these in order. 1986. The Ultimate Dragon won the famed J-Crown collection of championships by defeating Great Suzuki in Osaka, Japan. In 2005, America's Most Wanted defeated the Naturals to win the NWA Tag Team Championships. In 2016, episode of SmackDown, James Ellsworth defeated WWE Champion AJ Styles in a huge upset with the help of Dean Ambrose. And in 2019, Friday Night SmackDown, took place at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. The main event saw Bayley defeat Charlotte Flair for the women's title. And in 2010, and I'm going to have to go back and look at this, at a SmackDown taping, Randy Orton won a 41-man battle royal to earn a shot at the WWE Championship later in the show. He defeated Mark Henry at the end of the night by DQ in the match. So,
I don't remember that.
yeah, I'm going to have to go back and look at that 40. I think they even got them all in there. 30's pushing it. There's a battle royal. They're all in there to start with.
Yeah.
So that's this week in pro wrestling history. Those results are thanks to Daniel from AACW. He gave me a link to where I can find that stuff. So, Daniel, thank you.
Okay, guys, we'll do this Bleacher Report greatest cage matches of all time. Understand, I didn't make these rankings, so don't kill me
Don't
because
shoot the messenger.
don't shoot the messenger because some of these I don't get, especially.
When you say cage, is it just like a regular steel cage match or like Hell in a Cell too?
There's Hell in a Cells in there. There's a little bit of everything.
All right,
Okay, we got number 16, Bob Backlund and Jimmy Snuka from 1982, taking on the number 1 seed, which I don't know if this would be my number 1 seed, but Starrcade 1985, Tully Blanchard versus Magnum TA.
You've got to go with Snuka and Backlund. I've seen that. Now, that's not the where he jumped off on Morocco, but I have seen that Snuka and Backlund, and that was pretty impressive.
What do you think? I don't know if you've seen either one of those matches.
Snuka.
I agree. Okay, we're gonna go with Snuka, and
just because the number 1 seed shouldn't be number 1.
It should not be number 1.
Okay, we got number 2 seed versus the 15 seed. 15 seed Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit 2001 versus Wrestle War 1992 War Games.
I'm going Kurt. I've seen that match.
Angle Benoit.
Evidently, it'd have to be because I remember I've probably seen the War Games, but it wasn't enough to make me go ooh. So yeah, I'll have to go with Angle Benoit too. I'll tell you, the better War Games was in the 80s. They started staling out because they were just putting a bunch of people in a bunch. They didn't no storyline. It's like, hey, we'll just take all you guys and throw you in there. It's like,
okay, next up we got 8 versus 9. 8 SummerSlam 1994, Brett versus Owen versus number 8, America's Most Wanted versus Triple X Turning Point.
Brett and Owen.
Impact 2000.
That one, Brett and Owen.
Well, I'm gonna have to go Brett and Owen because I've never seen the other one, but
I've seen the other one.
Low. That Brett and Owen's way too low.
I'll say Brett and Owen.
I like both. I'll go Brett and Owen just because what it is.
I've seen that match. That's a good one.
Next, we got 7 versus 10. Ric Flair versus Kerry Von Erich. WCCW Star Wars 1982 versus number 10. Triple H versus Cactus Jack No Way Out 2000.
That's 2 different eras. Man.
Cactus, Triple H.
Cactus Triple H was in the 2000s, right?
Yeah, 2000.
It was 2000.
Well, see, we totally skipped the 90s there. You're talking 30, 20-year difference between the two?
Yep.
Yeah, because of the time. Yeah, I'll have to go Cactus and Triple H as well.
I'll go Cactus Triple H.
Okay, next up we have 4 versus 13. Number 4, Wrestle War 1991 War Games. The other one was 92 earlier. Versus number 13, America's Most Wanted versus Triple X Nashville 2003.
I can't tell you. I've never seen either one. Well, I'm sure I've seen the 91.
I'm going to go 91 War Games
because I've seen it, but I can't.
I'm going to go 91 War Games
because I can't tell you who was in it.
Those two, I just get rid of them two completely. But if you want me to pick one, I'll probably go with 91 War Games.
Yeah, this list is a little off.
Yeah, I'm
way off.
Next up, we have 3 versus 14. Number 3, Bad Blood, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker.
You already know.
14. Well, wait a minute. What do you hear? This 14.
Oh, 14.
Number 14, King of the Ring, Undertaker versus Mankind.
Jesus.
That's the dude that
got 14.
That's what I said.
I'm
think
still gonna go Shawn and Undertaker.
I'll go the one
Yeah.
that Taker's in.
You're going Shawn and Undertaker?
No, I'll go.
Yeah, I'm going.
Was it Taker in both of them?
Yeah, he's in
I'm
both.
going
I'll
Undertaker
just take the one
Mankind.
Taker's in.
I'm going Shawn and Undertaker.
I'm going Undertaker Mankind.
That was Undertaker Mankind. Although that
Taker
other one's
Mankind.
bad.
But that other one's a good one too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Jeez.
Okay, yeah, I didn't understand that. Next
Yeah, I
up,
see why I say don't shoot the messenger.
5 versus 12. Number 5, Starrcade 1983, Ric Flair versus Harley Race. That's old school.
Yeah, it is.
And number 12 is Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker, No Mercy, 2002.
Ooh, I gotta go Brock and Undertaker no more.
I'm going Brock and Undertaker.
I'm going Ric Flair.
What do you think, Marcus?
Well, I'm on Flair. I was just wanting to see what everybody else had to say.
Tanner's going Rick.
Damien said tie.
Tie. Okay. Man. So it's not a tie. I'm gonna go with Rick in there because if I go Brock, it's gonna be a tie. So, I'm going with the Ric Flair Harley Race. That was the.
That also had the same match. It had Valentine and Piper in that dog collar match.
Got number 6 versus 11. Number 6 is Survivor Series 2002 Elimination Chamber match.
It was the first one.
Number 11, Undertaker versus Triple H, WrestleMania 28.
Oh my god!
They put
That's
some
a
tough
tough one.
stuff. Yeah, it didn't make sense.
That's the first Elimination Chamber too. That's a good one.
And that's the one to beat the hell out of each other, about killed each other.
That's the one Triple H almost died. Or he landed on his
They didn't
throne.
know the mercy of the cage. They didn't know what they were. They didn't know what they were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
they're trying
guys
to kill
were
him.
doing cage matches, and they didn't realize what that thing was yet.
I'm gonna go Triple H and Undertaker.
I think I will too. What do you think, guys?
I gotta go with end of the era. The end of the era match.
Was that? Well, then I guess I lost because I was going to go to the Elimination Chamber. But
I
Okay.
love the Elimination
That's
Chamber, that match.
We're down to 8, guys. Okay, first matchup, Snuka and Backlund versus Brett and Owen.
Brett Owen.
Brett and Owen.
yeah, Brett Nolan. Man, they didn't even have Snuka and Morocco on there.
I know.
They didn't have Hogan and Orndorff, Andre and there's a bunch of those. There's no Bruno and Stan Hansen. I mean, I guess. Sorry, I'm going off on ones I know.
Yeah, there's a lot that didn't make the list.
And they only had one Elimination Chamber, and that's not even the best one in my opinion.
Number four, Wrestle War 91 versus Ric Flair, Harley Race. 80.
Flair and Race.
Flair and Race.
I think Flair's in both of them. But I'll
He
go Flair.
was. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Triple H Undertaker versus Undertaker Mankind.
Triple H Undertaker.
I'd go Undertaker Mankind.
Taker Mankind.
Taker Mankind.
They still have the documentaries about that one.
They didn't even have Taker and Shane McMahon, but why would they? So they're right.
Okay.
I'm surprised that didn't make the list the way they got shit on there.
Now, next up, Angle Benoit versus Triple H Cactus.
Cactus Triple H.
Cactus.
Yeah, I think I'll go Triple H Cactus.
Okay, we're down to the final 4, guys. Brett Nolan versus Flair and Harley.
Brett
I
Owen.
knew that was going to come up there.
I think Brett Nolan.
Brett
Yeah, I'm
Nolan.
going Brett Owen.
Okay, we got Taker Mankind versus Triple H and Cactus.
Taker
Mankind. I'll finally vote for it.
I think so.
I'll go Taker Mankind.
Okay, guys.
Brett
Brett
Nolan.
Nolan
Brett
versus
Nolan.
Taker Mankind.
Taker Mankind.
Brett and Owen.
Brett
I'm going
Nolan.
Brett and Owen.
What's that Taker Mankind?
Taker Mankind.
I'm going Brett Nolan.
I'm going Brett and Owen as well.
Who went Brett Nolan? You did, Chris
I did.
Austin and Marcus. He went Taker. What you take? What are you going on? I'm going Taker Mankind.
I'm gonna go Taker Mankind.
And we got Taker Mankind on here too. So it looks like gonna be Taker Mankind. So what was the Brett Nolan was the what seed was him again? I forget. I'm looking for it here. I know
think they
Taker
were
and him was
2 or 3.
14.
I think
think
Brett and Owen were 2 or 3.
I think it's funny that the number 1 seed was eliminated right off the bat.
Yeah. Brett and Owen was the 9th seed, so we ended up a 9th seed against a 14. I think maybe
should have made your own list.
Maybe Damon shared some of his cracks.
I agree. Should have made your own list.
I'll tell you what, that list was jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awful, man.
Real quick, fans out there, I hope I know I got on my soapbox earlier. I'm sorry a little bit. I got a little fired up. I apologize a little bit, not too much, but and again,
there's been worse things said on this show than what either one of us.
I just didn't like. They felt like that. I'm not saying I've never said anything, because I have. I know Mike said stuff, and I know they've said stuff. Don't act like you never said stuff. That just bothered me. I got a little irritated. That's all that was. But again, I hope that the gentleman that got hurt gets taken care of, and if the guys did what they say he did, I hope he gets the full extent of the law. My opinion. That's my opinion. None of these guys on here. I'm not saying that's their opinion. That's my opinion. Speaking for myself. Don't want to speak for anybody else. And if anybody needs any butt cream, I have plenty over here. I keep it in supply. So,
By Jericho Christian ass cream.
I think we had a good show. It was definitely had a lot of people on the Sunday.
What are we doing next week? You told me, but now I'm looking at this.
I've got it down, Marcus, but I don't think I have it with me. I think I got my other paperwork.
Yeah, I got
the list that you guys needed for the show on the 30th.
Okay, I'll have to get that later because I don't have it with me.
Yeah, I don't have that either. So
I thought it was a fun show. I thought it was an interesting show. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, the 30th, Glenn, the 30th was the top 10 Halloween Havocs, fairies, and the favorite scary themed show matches.
Oh, that's going to be perfect because now I'm going to actually NXT Halloween Havoc Night 1, so I will have the list for you guys. I won't be able to come on. But
Okay, cool. Also, sometime, I haven't come up with the exact date, but sometime in November, we're going to do one where we'll get some people on here, and we're going to put together our own Survivor Series matches.
Oh, goodness.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. And I hope Triple H goes a little old school this year. Maybe put together some, at least a couple of the matches. 5-on-5. Yeah. I hope.
Well,
I hope he does.
They would. They really got away from that.
Yeah, I know. Survivor Series isn't what it is.
You see, the first one, they even had 5 tag teams against 5 tag teams. They had 5 women against 5 women. The whole show was based on that.
Damien wants to know why I have ice cream. I have multiple uses for ice cream.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Some for some people, some maybe for myself. Don't worry about me.
It's because he burned some ass there, David. That's why.
I upset people, so in case they need some ice cream, and you never know. Maybe I need some ice cream, but we won't go into that. That's personal. Don't worry about my personal life. Hey, me and my wife might have a trapeze in the bedroom.
Oh, God.
Don't worry about trapeze.
Now we're going to see his wife come in and attack him at the table here.
I almost said something about my wife, and I said, I better keep my big mouth shut because I will be in trouble. I seen my wife wrestle a cat today. You should have seen me and Chris trying to take a cat to a cat that's never been in a car before to the shelter, and that cat went berserk and tried to jump through the windshield.
I've seen that happen when we moved in here. The older cat, she ran straight to the window.
I said, "Go back to the house. I ain't messing with this damn cat no more." Of course, my wife wrestled that damn cat, and she took it to the animal shelter, and she gives it to the animal shelter people, and they can't handle it, and the cat takes off.
And he's probably back at your house as we speak.
Back at my house. He's back at that. The cat needs help because I think it's pregnant. So, and it wasn't my cat to begin with. Well, this was an interesting show, to say the least.
The views will be up for sure.
I'm off next Monday, so I'll be here again.
I'll get every information.
Yeah, let me know because I don't have nothing wrote down for that.
Yeah, I've got stuff down, but I forgot.
I have the indie wrestling report. Well, I'm only going to the Deb. There's not a lot of shows this weekend. Yep. Emerge is running in Columbus. Doomsday's running in Jeffersonville. And
you're not going to Columbus, Marcus?
No. Kelly and her sister's got a baby shower to go to, and but Roger is, so if I try to get results from Roger, but I'll be at the
one of these days we need to get Roger on here.
Yeah, he'll have to get out of Booneyville to get the signal, but yeah, because he lives out in the boonies of Mooresville. Yeah, it's hard to get signal out there, but well, it's Mooresville actually.
Yeah, go check out the dub on Friday nights. Also, don't forget AACW October 21st. Then also October 26th.
Thunder Blunder.
The dub. Thunder Blunder. Walt's put together a pretty good card.
It's going to be a good card.
Go check that out. He just released a flyer. What do you think of that flyer, Marcus?
Yeah, I liked it. Are you guys going to that?
Hopefully.
Probably.
Can you set up back there by the back of the building? And I'm not like in the back room. You think you can set up back there at the door?
That's what we usually do.
Well, if you can, because I'd like to do commentary, but I can't get in the back room with because it's small back there.
That's probably what we'll be.
And you'll do that at the same time as the veteran show too, probably.
Probably.
Yeah,
I would say probably.
Veteran show's the
Warrior Pro Wrestling.
5th.
Sunday the 5th.
Yeah, Warrior Pro at the end of the month.
Then we're going to have to get you to, even if we got to come pick you up, we got to get you to a DCCW show.
Yeah, that looks so fun, man. Like, I've seen you guys go live there. Mike King, I haven't personally met Mike King in person, but every time he's been on with you guys, such a great promoter.
And real quick, I don't know I doubt if any IPW is still on here, but I understand you guys are fans over there, and you guys like those guys and they're friends, and you guys are loyal to them. I understand that 100% because I feel the same way about Mike King. I mean, and I know what Mike's done for Chris and for me, and a lot of many different ways that just not in the wrestling business. So we're 100% Mike King guys, and kind of Terry. I won't, maybe not as much. No, Terry's a great guy too. I give Terry a hard time. Just gotta give Terry a hard time. I love Terry. It's one of a kind, and I'm glad they broke the mold when they did. But Terry's great, and all the guys.
Hopefully they lost the mold.
It broke that son of a bitch. Never. Okay, but anyway, they're great. The whole team over is great, and Joey Owens is another guy. Fantastic. We've just been so lucky with all the promoters we work with. Buck and David, his dad, just such great people, and they're out, and that's what makes us kind of sad when something bad happens.
Yes.
And I know that maybe they did everything they could do, and they didn't know that idiot was going to do what he did. But I think you got to kind of try to step up and take responsibility maybe a little bit more, and that's hard for me to say because I'm not in their shoes.
Well,
I'm trying to be fair.
Well, that was what my whole point is it don't just affect them. That affects, and Mike reiterated it. It can affect the whole business as a whole.
It's scarred the sport.
Because buildings because other buildings in Muncie are going to, they could say no wrestling. How long did it take them to be able to get back in the armory?
Well, you know what happened there?
Because of stuff that happened years ago.
Yeah, because of Ian Rotten running a death match in an armory, and the state of Indiana said no more running out in armories for ever. And it was just one incident. And that took years to get that back.
And I can't imagine as a parent, I mean, I know the guy's 34 years old, and he's autism and got some other issues too. I can't imagine being a parent and him getting injured like that at a wrestling show where he should be safe. And I'm not saying that guy didn't do anything wrong. Maybe he did. I mean, I'm not taking up for the guy because I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. But he still shouldn't have got hurt. Okay? Maybe arrested. Maybe escorted out of the building. Maybe police. But he shouldn't have got hurt. There's no way to condone that. I'm sorry. And there were some people in the newspaper, because I read some of the comments. There's people trying to defend it. Well, he should have kept his big mouth shut.
Glenn, why don't you ever go to WCCW or where am I talking? Because we're not in Texas. When have you never been to WCWO? You can walk over there.
Yeah, I've been down there a few times.
Have you? I guess we just never been there together. So
yeah, that's always a great time at it too, man. Joey Owens, great promoter.
Great promoter. Joey's I mean, to do what he does every week, can't give him enough credit. But there's a lot of good promotions out there. Hey, everybody go check out independent promotion. Check out a new one. Check out your favorite one. Check out a new one. I mean, hey, Marcus can do 73. I mean, and probably going to do 90 to 100. Pick out, okay, you're a DCCW fan. Hey, go take a drive over to Summit and check it out. Or if you're an IPW fan, go. What's a close one? Another one in Greenfield. The other one, Marcus, you
FEW.
go to
FEW.
There's a lot of good promotions out there, and check them out and support independent wrestling.
Well, we got you guys down to JICW this year.
Oh yeah, Martinsville, man. That sucked that they only had the amount of people they had for such a good show.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of good wrestling out there. A lot of fun. I mean, I know we like to tease Walter, but Walter tries really hard to put.
Well, if you've seen them match cards you got set up.
He tries really hard, man. And I'm worried because it's a Thursday night, but man, if you guys can go to Indianapolis to the Dub and check out that show because it's going to be good. And he does everything he can to put on a good show. And dude don't have a lot of money. Dude's out there working odd jobs so he can put on these shows, these dream matches that he wants to see and put out for the fans. And I'll tease old Walter and give him a hard time, but he's a pretty good dude, and he's trying really hard.
He's fantastic. Good man.
He tries really hard. I think if some other promoters that would try harder, that have better means than he has, and I put nobody down, would try as hard as he does, they would probably even do better. So he definitely puts the effort in. But he's not a cameraman. Don't ever put him on the camera. He sucks on the camera.
Did you hear what I said?
I built him up. I don't want his head get too big. He won't go down the damn room.
Did you hear what I said while we were live Saturday?
Well, yeah, I think I did.
I made the statement.
Yeah.
I said, Chris, did you notice that the cameraman got all that on?
Yep, I sure did. Yeah, because I start cracking up and laughing, and my wife said, "What are you over laughing about?" I said, "They're talking about a former goofy cameraman."
But I'll tell you what, I didn't see his reactions during the hardcore match, but I guess Amanda and Kelly was watching Eli.
Oh yeah,
he was losing his shit because he never seen one before.
His reactions were gold.
Yeah, you should have seen Chris and his reactions when he used to watch wrestling. He would be at the shows or at the house. I mean, it looked like he was wrestling his fucking self. I mean, what the hell are you doing? What the hell's wrong with you? Maybe he just had something wrong with him. I don't know. But
yeah, I looked up a couple times, and Eli didn't know what the hell was going on. He's like, "What?"
Oh, it was tough. I mean, when he went and got the damn lemon juice, I'm like, "What the hell?"
Well, you know what? Now you want an inside story real quick. You know when he threw the table?
Yeah,
that wasn't supposed to happen. He was looking for the door, and the door was at the front of the building. And he thought the door was back there behind the curtain. And he went back there. He's like, where in the hell's the damn door? He said, well, it's up the front of the building. So he had to break the spot. And that's when he grabbed the table and threw it at him until they get the door to where they needed to have the door.
Yeah, I said he threw a fucking table on his head.
Yeah, you did say that.
That wasn't even part of it. They impromptu that, and it worked perfect. Well, when he took out the referee, too.
Well, I'm glad Jordan got to hear us talk because Jordan deserves it. He's superly underrated in the business.
Did you see the comment he made?
Yep.
So yeah,
I'm glad he got to hear that.
It's match of the year. It has to be. I mean, you guys still got 10 weeks or roughly to beat it, but boy, you really got your work cut out to do that.
But after that Martinsville match we seen, the Kripke and them guys put on, it was outstanding. So. Yeah,
Will and these two, the one over in Illinois, Will put on.
Yeah, you said it was really good.
I thought that would never be beat, and then Kripke and Excalibur beat it, and it's like, well, there's no way in hell they could beat that. And then they turned around like, how in the hell did they pull that off? It's like,
real quick, Marcus, give Will a shout out for his show. He's got coming up the 21st.
Yes, that's also on October 21st. If you can't make it to AACW, I know New Era is also running on the 21st down in Shelbyville. Will's got
Lafayette is too.
What's that?
I think Lafayette's running 21st too.
Yes, Lafayette, BMFX is running. There's a lot of shows.
A lot of shows that weekend.
But yeah, Will's putting on his second super event at the 210 Saloon off of exit 210 in Illinois. The main event looks like it's gold. It's in fact it's a hardcore match between Ace Perry, Dale Patricks, Austin Ryan. I think Jason Levi's in it.
Oh, that'd
There's
be
5
awesome.
guys in it, I think, total.
They'll beat the hell out of each other. But yeah, I tell you what, go to Kokomo. They're going to put on a great show, and them fans are nuts in Kokomo.
And also, October 29th, WCWO will be at Rowdy's in Mooresville again.
Yeah,
Let's say that Warrior Pro as well. So
yeah, it's going to be a real good show too. That's on. That's a Saturday. Yeah,
this is a good weekend. There's not a lot going on this weekend, but man, the rest of the month we're booked.
Well, everybody have a good night. And,
we appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo'S Sports Room. Like and follow Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo'S Sports Room as well. Go check out DCCW Indiana on Facebook for all their upcoming things. I know November 3rd they have another big show coming up. Also check out the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network on all social media. And we'll be back on Monday at 6:30 with another episode of G.W.R.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.